I'm open to share as much or as little. So how many of you guys know Brian Weiss? He's familiar, the sort of past life person. He's a psychiatrist. So he discovered past life hypnosis while asking a client to go to the source of her anxiety, and she went to a past life. And that's kind of what happened with Michael Newton, is he had a client, he was a psychologist doing regular hypnosis, and he said going to the source of your loneliness, and she didn't go to a past life, she went to a life between lives where she was with her soul group. So we don't just have a soul mate, we have a soul family that we incarnate with over and over. And they say it's like a, I can never remember how to say that word, like repertory group? Is that the right way to say it? Where we all play different roles in different lives. So in this life you might be my friend, in my last life you were my sister, in my next life you're my daughter. So we change it up based on the lessons, oh, I think I'm making the same move, based on the lessons that we want to learn. And it turned out in that person's soul, when she went into her soul family, she realized none of them had incarnated with her in this life, and that was the source of her loneliness. And I get goosebumps even when I say it. And so he pretty much stopped doing all other hypnosis and just started doing these Life Between Lives sessions, and did thousands of them, and didn't publish his work or anything, just because he didn't want anybody to talk to anybody. So it's funny when I'll do these sessions, and people who haven't read the books use the same words. Like they'll say, I'm going before my council, which is your wise elders, maybe 4 to a dozen people who oversee all your lives. And so I just did one a while back, and the person said, I'm going to my council. And he had never read the books. That's what most people, some people refer to it, they're elders, they're wise souls, but it kind of blows you away that these people go to these same kind of spaces. So the main ones they go to, I'll just let you know, are meeting your spirit guide. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do one. And then meeting your soul family and your soulmate. Your council of elders, where you get feedback on how you're doing, and people can bring questions. I saw my husband take pictures, so I get all nervous. You can bring questions about my purpose in this life, or how am I doing, or what's my direction. And then, to me, the one that's sort of, I don't know, I guess the most fascinating is what I referred to earlier, the pre-birth life planning station. And that's where I had one person who had a room full of babies with Christmas tags attached to them. And they were choosing which one, and they just knew which one was going to be theirs. In other words, that was going to be the life they were going to choose. I had someone else, a man, who saw pods, and he said you get to go in them and then you take off like a spaceship. And he kind of could jump in and try them on, and he said, well, that one at the end is broken, so I'm not going to do that one. And I don't know what that meant, if that meant that person was broken, like disabled. So the general rule is the harder the life, the more advanced the soul. So my mom, who passed, and I say recently, but it's coming up on 2 years, I can hardly believe it, but my mom was disabled and had a very, very hard life, was paralyzed as a baby, age 9, and just struggled with all sorts of repercussions, health issues, paralysis issues her whole life. And when I started learning this work, it was wonderful because it gave us a vocabulary to talk about this stuff. And I'll get emotional because it was right around Mother's Day last year, or 2 years ago. But anyway, I would tell her, Mom, I don't know what the hell you were thinking. And she would say, me either, that we choose this for a reason. So I don't know if the lesson was for her or for me. When I did my Life Between Lives session, that was my biggest question. Why did my mom have such a hard life? And my guides wouldn't answer because they said that's between her and her guides, but they could tell me what that was about for my life. So that's kind of the big picture, the between lives.